Greetings. Happy Thursday. I am the Moon Mama. How are y'all doing today? Let me tell y'all, this day has started off like I feel like I've been in traffic on the freeway with a million cars and I didn't have any way out. But I made it. You know how that is when you have somewhere to go and you get in your car and you're running late. Maybe y'all don't have this going on, but I know I have in the past. I actually don't drive anymore because of this. I actually just like I'm done with this sort of relationship with traffic and cars. But you get in the car and you're anxious because you're in a rush to get somewhere, like you have something you got to do, and then you get on the road and it's so much traffic and you're like, what is going on? That has been my morning. And also that I could get the Mercury retrograde class ready. The link is here. You can enroll. Our first live class is on October 14th, which is next Wednesday. Ricky Williams will be facilitating it, and Kelly and I are very excited about this work that we're about to do with Mercury retrograde reset, because we all need it so much. And here's why. If you are holding on to family shadows and family shame and family secrets, this is the class for you. I know for me, I grew up in a family that had so many secrets. Like, we didn't know if this auntie was the mother or if that auntie was the mother of a child. Like, literally, my grandmother and her sisters used to like do all of these things to protect their children, and they would trade babies. Like, it's just, like my grandmother's father would say this child should be with this sister, and like just all sorts of crazy stuff. And then that child would become an adult and realize that his mother wasn't who his mother was, that the woman that he thought was his auntie was really his mother. That kind of family stuff, right? A lot of us have that, especially those of us from the African American community, because we are we're holding so much trauma from the slave experience. So if you work with obsessions and guilt and envy and shame and all of those shadowy energies, is where we're holding power that can really help us to be who we really are. And because we hold it in these shadowy ways, we don't want to touch it, right? It's like it's too much, it's too scary to touch. So you just function over it, but it's there draining your energy. It's there keeping you stuck in patterns that you can't get out of. So the only way to do it is to face it. So the link is there. You can go register. The class is $66. Let me tell y'all, what we giving y'all for $66? When I was in the shower today, I was like, okay, this is my last $66 class. Maybe that's not true, but maybe it is because what we're giving you is profound, and it's actually my pleasure to do it. And I believe I can speak for Kelly and say it's her pleasure to do it, because we're here to be of service to the world and healing community. But we're offering something really powerful for what I want to say. I want to say for a contribution or investment that is available, that won't break you. And so that is the thing that matters to me, that I want my work to be accessible to everyone. And that's why that's why the pricing is what it is. But go register today. Okay. So today is a Jupiter day, and Jupiter just went direct, I think maybe last week, in Capricorn. Jupiter is the planet of luck, blessings, expansion. It's the planet that governs Sagittarius. And it's the planet that governs our capacity to have faith and see. But it's not a visual thing with your eyes. It's like your third eye. It's like what your heart sees. It's like, what your consciousness sees. It's the eye behind the eye. That's what I have a teacher, Michael Beckwith, he would always say, see with the eyes behind your eyes, hear with the ears within your ears, feel with the senses within you, right? It's not this external thing, it's the internal. It's like we are an energetic being that is not just physical. We are mostly energetic. The physicality is the least of who we are. This is like 10% of who we are. And if you think of this body and it's only 10% of who you are, just imagine the vastness that you are. So we want you to see with that. We want you to use the eyes of that. We want you to use the hearing of that, the speaking of that, the feeling of that other aspect of you. And Jupiter is the planet that allows you to see. It's the biggest planet in our solar system. And because if you consider, if you're in a crowd of people, if you're somebody who's like 6'5" and you're in a crowd of people, maybe you can see over people. You can see things that other people can't see. That's Jupiter. It's the vision, like what's coming, right? And Jupiter's in Capricorn, and everything in Capricorn has now gone direct. So what we're doing now is we are beginning to build. Capricorn means we have to make something. That's what Capricorn does. It makes something, and it has to be in integrity with itself. And Jupiter is about faith and seeing. So where do you want to go? And where are you seeing? What's the vision you have for your life? You know it. You can feel it. And if you can't, you just have to do the work. And, whether it be retrograde classes or to remove the patterning, to remove the belief systems, to remove the experiences from your childhood that are holding you down, that are weighting you down, so that you can actually begin to see what you're here to do and what you want to be. I have had this experience all of my life where I have always known who I am and what I want to be and how I want to show up in the world, but it wasn't time yet. So the way wasn't open for me to do it. And now that the way is open, I can see pretty clearly how to do it. So I teach classes and I use astrology, and I create communities of women. And there was a time when I wasn't ready. I didn't have as much information and knowledge and life experience to allow me to do what it is I'm doing now. And sometimes we have to grow into ourselves. That's another thing about Jupiter. Jupiter is so huge. Have you ever met like a child who might be like 5 or 6, but they look like they're 7 or 8, and you want to treat them like they are more mature, but really they are still growing and maturing inside of them, and so they can't meet you where you are. That's where some of us are. We have to grow into ourselves. We have to mature to become what it is, that the vision that we're here to fulfill. So Jupiter in Capricorn says, what are you going to make? And if you're not mature enough yet, if it's not clear yet, you just keep removing stuff. Keep removing beliefs. Keep removing, what's blocking you. Ask, what is blocking me? What is blocking me from fulfilling my potential? And as you ask, it'll be revealed to you. The moon today is in Cancer, and the moon is home in Cancer. And so we're going to have the moon here for 2.5 days. Cancer energy is about your feelings. It's about your emotions. It's about allowing yourself to feel them. I know for me lately, like I just have been, y'all saw me the other day crying, whining, moaning, because I feel so intensely. I feel things so deeply. I always have. And I have learned for years to suppress those feelings. But those feelings are information. They're letting you know that something isn't right, or something is coming, or they're giving you messages in some way. So do your best to honor your feelings. And while the moon is in Cancer, and I know there's a lot going on in the world. We just had those debates yesterday. The Flygate was going on, and black woman on board with running rings around Pence, and what human being can stand up to a black woman who has language and education and power? Nobody can match that. So don't allow that stuff to distract you. All of that is distraction. Keep your attention focused on you, because there is something coming in the next couple of months that I don't really know what it is, but there's an energetic shift happening. I can't tell you what it is. I've not been there, but I do know that the energy is changing. And so to be distracted right now is the least of your priorities. You want to stay focused on your own process and your own journey. And that's what the moon in Cancer is. It brings you back to yourself, back to your internal world, back to your reality. So, one of the ways I help myself get off of distractions is by asking myself, what is it that I'm doing? So if I'm really distracted by somebody else's business, I might go, well, how is this serving me? Like, what's really, oh, it's distracting me. Well, why do I want to be distracted right now? What am I avoiding, right? Because when you're being distracted, you're allowing distractions, you're avoiding something. And if you follow those questions, what am I avoiding? Why am I distracted? What's here for me? You'll be led and you'll see why you're distracted, and you'll see what you need to focus your energy on. So today we are in a Jupiter day, which is fantastic. Jupiter's in Capricorn, which sucks because Pluto is there. But nonetheless, we're creating new things and we have the energy it takes. The only thing you have to be mindful of is not to be distracted with all of this hoopla that's going on. And when you get distracted, because we do, when you get distracted, ask, why am I distracted? Why am I thinking this right now? What's here for me? What is that? And then, maybe do a prayer or ask your ancestors to help you, or, go. Last night I had to get up at 10 o'clock at night and go walk to discharge some energy with my tree. I've introduced my tree to you guys here. Oh, I love my tree so much. Oh, and so I went out, the tree called me, and I went out and took 10 deep breaths with the tree and circulated my energy and came home and slept so well and woke up at 4:30 like I normally do and did my spiritual practice, but it felt like I was in traffic because it was challenging, but I got it done. So if you just honor your own presence, your own internal experience, you will be led to the opening. Go register for the Mars retrograde class. Nope. Yes, register for the Mars retrograde class because Mars is in retrograde until November, and that class is helping you work on your identity. And go register for the Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. The hate you love to give, and we're going to be uncovering and digging into those shadows and really looking at ourselves and bringing love to it so that we can get free. There's no way to do it but seeing it so that you can get free. So whatever you've been avoiding, you can create a safe space in this class to touch it, to get free. And when you get free from it, you have more power. All right, peace and blessings. I'm the Moon Mama. Have a wonderful day today. Bye-bye.